I'm so glad you said that, because as you were talking about that, I thought, you know what? This is a great beer to have in the morning.
Yeah.
This is
Belgian waffles with syrup and salty, meaty bacon on the side.
Pints and Pairings is brought to you in part by We're Driving and The Beer Cave. Learn more about our sponsors at hopheadshead.com/pints-and-pairings. Well, I feel kind of like the wallflower right now.
I can appreciate that.
Everyone else, they could care less about what's happening up here on stage. What they want is their beer and their food.
You know what's pretty sweet, though, is we've got a position in this building where we can look across at all the hungry and thirsty people, like, scavenging at the tables already. They just started to allow people into tonight's Bounty of the County Beer and Food Challenge here at the BC Fair.
And the VIPs going in are a group that is near and dear to me, the home brewers who submitted beers to the fair competition, I guess. You know, I've never submitted a beer to this competition.
Why not, Curtis? Why are you reluctant to show off your skill and your talent as a home brewer?
Partly because I've got a plan for this, and you know me.
But with all your videos lately as the Barefoot Brewer,
right,
you should be submitting something, if nothing else but on name recognition alone.
I'm going to have to put this into my calendar and as a reminder 2 months in advance in order to have a beer that's fresh and ready to go for this. But Bounty of the County, this is our first time here. This is the first time that actually they've done this with beer for the Ventura County Fair 2014. This is the inaugural event, as Lisa was telling us just a minute ago.
Yeah. We're very excited to be here. And again, you're listening to Pints and Pairings. I am Jason Hendrick with Everybody's Hungry.
And I am Curtis Taylor, also known as Hophead Said. We're standing today.
Yeah, we are standing. It's good. You know, you burn more calories while standing. And with the food and beer we're going to be tasting tonight, I think we're going to need to burn some calories.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that I was going to really get to drink any beer or eat any food. I was just happy to be here in front of all the people, all these new people. They have not...
There are a lot of them, too. We're looking at 200 people that have been allocated for this tasting and voting, People's Choice Award. But you know me, Curtis, as the hungry man, there's no way I'm coming to a beer and food competition without sampling at least one of the offerings.
I don't know what I was thinking. I really didn't.
I know people, and I'm going to put beer in my glass and food on my plate.
And I brought a big old jug of water because I figured that's what I was going to do. It's a warm one in here, but, you know, we've got 3 different breweries, right? So we've got Institution Ales, no stranger to the Pints and Pairings show. We've got... now I'm drawing a blank.
Before we go too far, though, Institution is paired with the Kitchen out of Oxnard.
There you go.
So when we look at this competition, there's going to be 3 categories. It's going to be best beer, best food, and best pairing.
Right.
So we want to make sure we're hitting all 3 of those perspectives. But like you said, Institution out of Camarillo is going to be with the Kitchen tonight from Oxnard. Barrel House 101, right in the heart of Ventura, and our studio when we're doing remotes, is partnered with brand new brewery to Ventura, and that's Poseidon Brewing Company, located over off of Olivas Park Drive.
Yeah, this is
not even open yet.
Not even open. And through the wonders of podcasting, this won't mean a whole lot to you, but I'm really excited because we get to go there tomorrow and taste some of the beers in the tasting room well before they're open. The last time I was in there was 2 weeks ago, and it was still a construction zone. So I'm really
it's still a little bit of a construction zone, but there's progress being made. Brian, the owner, co-owner, was in sanding and putting up some more components to the tasting room today. They're going to be ready for us tomorrow on some level. All the beers they're expecting, 6 beers, are all on tap. So they're worried initially about having enough beer for our show. We're going to shoot for 3. They hit their mark in terms of all 6 that they were targeting way back when this whole idea first came about.
And I've got my ride lined up already.
And I was told the stout is going to be really good, but we're going to have a sneak preview show recording tomorrow, July 31st.
Right. And so then we've got and another brewery that's no stranger to Pints and Pairings, Surf Brewery, and they are paired with a barbecue place here.
Yeah, Saloon Barbecue right on Main Street in Ventura. So again, part of the focus of this competition is to showcase restaurants and breweries that are exclusive to Ventura County. So we're not bringing anyone up from LA. We're not grabbing into Santa Barbara because the VC Fair is all about Ventura County.
As it should be.
It's the name implies.
But you look at like the LA Fair, for instance. They've got a huge beer competition, and there are breweries that.
But they're spoiled too. Look at the number of breweries that LA has access to.
Well, but it's not an exclusive.
So if you're a brewery within an earshot of LA and you want to compete, right, you can submit.
Right. We've had Ladyface. We've had some of these ones. Now, technically, they're LA County, so I guess maybe, but they're quite a ways out.
Yeah, they're on the fringe. Sometimes we like to absorb them into our discussions.
Yeah, maybe they are. Well, they're 805 anyway. It's hard to keep.
They may be in BC. They may be in LA County, but I think their area code is 805.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or 818.
It's tough to keep those apart. So we've got these three different tables. 3 different categories too, and what I really like about this is the best beer, the best food, and the best pairing.
Because you may actually drink a beer from a brewery that pairs better with a different restaurant's food. We're not sure yet. We're going to taste them and see on our own.
Those are my favorite pairings when we just discover something, And like, so they put a lot of work and prep into planning these pairings, and. So that those are going to taste really, really good. But you never know. Barbecue, please. Barbecue goes with everything, any beer. And so...
Well, we hope so. We're looking forward to that one because I myself am a big fan of barbecue, especially being in a fair setting. I mean, a county fair is about agriculture. It's about community. It's about ranching. Why not bring in a barbecue competitor?
The one thing that I was looking for when we were pushing the cart and getting set up, walking through the midway and everything, was deep fried beer. I have not seen it yet. I mean, everything else. I saw some plates that were stacked this high with things I could not distinguish because it was breaded and deep fried.
You don't know what's under the breading. But it's interesting that you bring up deep fried beer. It may sound obscure. People may be scratching their heads going, there's no way in hell you can do deep fried beer. And I would contest that it is possible. I saw a special on the Food Network one time, and they were doing deep-fried Kool-Aid. And what it really is a Kool-Aid-infused batter. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at like a funnel cake type of thing with Kool-Aid flavoring. You could do the exact same thing with beer, and it would be deep-fried beer.
That would be so good. Although there's plenty of things. I mean, we've had beer-battered fish and chips. We've had all that. So you've had it before, but I was.
But it's all about the perception. You got beer-battered fish, but what about battered beer?
I'm all for battering beer.
It would be pretty sweet now that we're thinking about it, though. What if, because we know that there's a dessert person in this competition. We know that there is a kind of a wild card underdog, but a champion in her own right. We could talk to her about doing a beer ice cream and then deep frying that. So it truly would be like a deep fried beer, not beer batter.
What is that called? Sopa, whatever the ice cream is.
Yeah,
Sopa.
That thing that you're talking about.
It's one of those two. I know which, but anyway. So we've got. I think we should call it quits for our opener, and then we can get right into tasting.
Because we have a dish in front of us that we're going to talk about in the next segment, and I'm really anxious about tasting this because it looks great. It's going to have some really fun components. We love cheese. We talk about cheese and beer all the time, and there's definitely cheese, 3 kinds of cheese in this pairing, but also just a great fresh produce aspect that I'm looking forward to.
Excellent. So let's take a break. Or pause, I guess, and then go right into, because it is the magic of podcast. Make sure that you are following us, at howpetsaid.com/pints and pairings, #beersuggestioneers, #pints and pairings. You'll find us and join in if you've got a deep fried beer recipe.
Yeah, because it is fair season across the country, and there may be some breweries and some food in your area that we're not aware of, and we want to know what you're eating and what you're pairing with your fair season. So join the conversation.
Let's do it. All right. So, closing out every episode, I like to remind everyone to eat, drink, and be happy.
Cheers.
We'll catch you at the next pour. Pints and Pairings is brought to you in part by The Beer Cave, located at 231 Village Commons Boulevard in Camarillo, California.
If you prefer a cocktail or some vino, this neighborhood market also has a great selection of premium spirits and wine, along with an attached deli for a quick sandwich to go.
When you stop in, be sure to mention that you heard about them right here on the Pints and Pairings Show, and maybe grab a sandwich for me on your way out.